Well, as always, when you play a triple option team, I start with giving a shout out to that entire group that came in on Sunday and started their preparation to give us a great look. And Will Adams was our quarterback. We lost to Kyle Bolden that had done it for so long, and it's such a unique thing to time things up and to prepare you. And you go out and play the way you did, especially for us defensively. It's not just because of the scheme. It's not just because of the players. It's because of the preparation. And those guys did a phenomenal job. And so my first most important thing to me is a shout out to those guys, because we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be able to do what we did tonight without the preparation that those guys gave us. So kudos to those guys. So obviously a tough one. It always is. That is a hard fought game. I don't think we've ever played them. Maybe one time that it didn't feel like that. And I think coming down to the wire and down the stretch, that's a good ball club that always gives us their best. And it's difficult. We appreciate what those guys do. But there's a fight in that crew that never quits. But I'm proud of our guys because they're the same. And their backs were against the wall a little bit this past week with taking a gut punch and what we went through last week, which I think that everybody goes through, but we just have been fortunate not to go through it as much. And you find out a lot more about who you are and what your seniors are like and what your leadership's like when you have weeks like that. So we'll find out what it's like again, because we've got another one gunning for us, and it'll be a quick turnaround. Well, we know those guys and the attention to detail. What we have them, and sometimes they jump back over, like Will Adams would go from quarterback. Cam, we'd switch up a little bit. He'd have to go. He'd have to go and play some free safety for us. So he was kind of like the third free. So we'd have to roll some guys in there and give him an opportunity on the other side. But there's a few guys that would play the slots for us because they, are in there in the film room watching the little pinpoint things. So there's a lot of credit to go around. But we find a way to get us the best look possible, and that's why I think we've been as well prepared playing this game the last few years. Huge. I mean, he did a phenomenal job. It's difficult. They do a great job at junking things up and really making it difficult on you to run the football. They make it difficult with their ability to all out pressure you and really challenge you. And he answered the bell and everything today. And he made some really huge throws. He held on that ball and let things come open. And then the fourth down touchdown to Tyler Scott is gutsy a throw. I'm not sure I would tell him to do that by any means, but he saw what he saw and pulled it and made a heck of a play on that. Him and Tyler Scott together. So he's done a really, really good job in a difficult situation. Meaning, you're not going to get as many opportunities at it, and they're gonna really challenge you trying to run the football. It was. All that stuff is momentum. And, we got some red zone stops tonight defensively that were really big for us. Obviously, too early on, the blocked field goal. Obviously, they kicked the field goal. Those were critical, Almost had a third one down there with the fourth down and goal. Some say that the ball came out, but you can't see anything in there. It was a scrum. But that's big for us. And I tell you, he's found his rhythm. And I think he's found his confidence. And, he's a weapon for us. And again, we don't want to put him out there as many times. We don't want to kick 42-yard field goals or whatever it was. But not only is he doing a great job there, he's doing a great job, obviously, in kickoffs, too. Off and on and trying to make decisions of what you do, and then you're trying to, whether you take the ball, whether you take the wind, and is it going to switch? I mean, I know that the last day and a half it caused a lot of anxiety, not just to me. I'm sure Coach Gino and the rest of the crew, not really knowing exactly what it's going to be like. Then you watch some of those games a little bit earlier. and you see some of the weather. I think in Chicago or something, and you're like, is that what's coming? Is that what we're going to get? And how are we going to adapt and adjust? And you know, fortunate for us, it kind of calmed down a little bit. There were gusts in the first half in particular, and then a little bit in the second half. But for the most part, we were fortunate. I mean, it's always difficult, and I don't know how many yards they had on the dive play, but I know Dontay had like 11 tackles, and I mean Briggs and Watley and Dom Perry in there. Those things, that is a unselfish position. Now, I didn't know the guy's going to get 11 tackles, so it's not as unselfish because he's getting some notoriety on that. But it's a constant battle, and that's what gives us a chance to do what we do, especially against a triple option. No, he is, and he's done a great job, and it's great to have Juwan Briggs in that room with them. Just an elder statesman. It's a great leader for those guys, and I don't know if it goes unnoticed yet, but I mean those other guys that have the ability to roll in there is unique too, because we were able to play 4 guys in there, and to be able to put Watley and Dom Perry in there, just like at the end spots, when you get back to being able to play, legitimately 8 guys, I think you see what you see sometimes later in the fourth quarter. And that's when I think that we had the chance to take over a little bit. You know what? He's back. He's healthy, and I think maybe it was a week ago or so. He kind of came in and was asking about, hey, when can I get another opportunity? And he had been nursing and really battling this ankle and a lot of things. It's been difficult for him, and so we had the opportunity this week to maybe get him in there a little bit more. And so we were rolling those guys, and I think he probably played most of the game, and Coop was struggling a little bit. I think just being able to stay in there, and injuries and just just the nagging stuff. So it gave Mets an opportunity this week to kind of fill in a little bit as Coop was dinged up a little bit, and I'm happy and proud of him. And he had a little look on his face in there, and I told him I was going to punch him. I really wouldn't because he's 6 foot 335 pounds. He said, I got a lot to clean up. I'm like, I'm just so happy that you're out there and playing. And, so I think that can be a big deal for us, too. I don't know that we got the opportunity for him to take the top off. And I think that's where the thing that's Tyler has grown so much in is his ability to not just be the take the top off guy, which we all know that he can do. And he's running those intermediate routes. He's running the comebacks and the things and the out routes and making plays on it, just like the touchdown one, and recognizing the coverage and settling down and then throwing a back shoulders. I mean, it's his ability to continue to grow to be not just the track speed guy down the field gives us a lot of options and is going to make him play this game for a long time. It's not exactly something you prepare a lot for, obviously. We obviously work it and things like that, and he throws 2 dimes. He throws a dime on 4th and 5 to a wide receiver down the middle of the field. Then he throws the dime in a coming out situation to a seam route that is a heck of a throw. And we're on a guy, but what I'm proud about is we didn't panic. And in some situations, even like the week before, when the ball moves a little bit, there's a little bit of a panic, and we didn't. We settled down. We just continued to play, and I think that's the difference in the ball game for us. 20? I don't know. Maybe what he gave me as well. Oh. Yeah, I mean, we also have to do what people will give us. We need to get back to running football. We know that. We need to have that balance. We need to be physical. We need to grind some things out. And, I think that's what we got to make sure we're getting ourselves back to a little bit more. But it doesn't take away from the other things that we can do really well, too. Well, it's an interesting one to respond to as well because it's so unique. That's kind of what had me a little bit on ease this week is not that they wouldn't respond, not that they don't going to go out there and scratch and claw and fight. They had a great week, but the uniqueness of what it is that we had to face, offensively, the limited possessions and everything, every matters, and then defensively with the unique, triple option stuff. That's what kind of got me, as those guys worked at it, just their mindset of how they were going to handle this, because it is methodical. You can't get bored doing the things you're going to do, and so that's really what kind of had me, you know, laying awake a little bit, is not how they would respond, but how they would handle, just the environment of what we had to do to win football game. I think we started off pretty good, but the thing is that's sometimes the thing that we've struggled with. Sometimes we've gotten into a groove. Last week we were really in a pretty good groove defensively at halftime, and even the third quarter, and then things just happened, and you know that's where we just kept saying, you can't relax, you can't relax, you can't relax. They're going to make some plays at some point in time. That's what they do, but we can't relax, we can't panic, and things like that happen. And I think that's where we took a step. Yeah, I've always said that when you go and you play Navy, especially when your preparations for it, it makes you go back to those basics. And not saying we're going to try to schedule them as we switch leagues and things like that to triple option, but I do and will miss some of those things that say, hey, what we're going to do in spring ball, we're going to spend a day on triple option. Why? Because it gets you the fundamentals of what you do, and how you play, and how you got to be physical. And then in fall camp, every third night, doing the triple option stuff, because it's so critical. And is it triple option? Yes, but is it really just the focus on the little things, the fundamentals, of not getting bored doing those things? It'll be awesome, and we got a quick turnaround for a team that's playing really, really well. I think they'll have 13 days off before they play us, so it's kind of unique. We're playing on a Saturday, and then we have a Friday game. So, but it is what it is, right? And we'll go back to work. Um, Excited about the opportunity in front of us.
I like that. So like when we prepare for Navy, we got a lot of respect for them. So we prepare as hard as we can. We try to stay disciplined, but sometimes we might get loose. We might get cut. So we got to play a lot of discipline this week. I know it's awesome. I got like a big advantage over it because I've been against it my whole high school career. So it was like a big leap for me. It's awesome. I love playing with Briggs. It was probably one of my best games I ever played because of Briggs. Because he relieved all them double teams from me. High school Dontay, it might be like 8 or 9, but right now it might be 2. Yeah. Coach Brady might be around here looking at me. Um, Having like them leaders, like the senior leadership, like Jabari, Briggs, all them, just like, especially Malik, they all help me like just play my game. I don't gotta beat nobody else. Yeah. Like Briggs, it was like one play. I think I missed a tackle on Briggs, and Jabari came to me and told me it's okay. Like them leaders, like telling us like calm down. It was a big help. Yeah. It's not that much journey because our scout team, Will Adams, especially Ben Blevinson, like them scout guys helped us a lot. So it really wasn't like a huge difference. I think that's like a momentum switch if we keep doing that. So our offense will score some points. It's huge. We just needed his leadership and just in general. I don't really like look into that stuff. I just go out there and try to help my team win. Nah. No, I think it was the same. We just had to disrespect this past game. Thank you.
Oh yeah, our whole defense in general, honestly. I knew they were going to pressure to that side, and the call we had on honestly wasn't the greatest for that look, and they played cover two, and we Tyler kind of sat in that hole, and we connected, and it was a great improvisation with me and Tyler. I was looking at they started bringing some guys down with some pressure, and I was looking at them initially, and then once I snapped it, I was looking at kind of the defense, and I knew where Tyler was. So, yeah, I mean it's super important when you play a team like this because we know they're going to possess the ball, have those long drives, keep the time possession, and they had that one 9-minute drive, and the key was to start fast and score. And we settled for 2 field goals early. We should have scored touchdowns, but that's something we've got to keep working on is starting fast. And yeah. Yeah, they played a lot of when they weren't blitzing, they were playing a lot of soft coverage. So Coach Gino challenged me this week to really throw out those RPOs a lot, the hitches, the slants, the speed out. So when they give it to me, I got to take it, and that's what they're doing today. Definitely. I mean, like I said last week in the press conference, you really find out about a team by the way they bounce back from a loss, and I think we did a good job this week. No one hung their heads. We got back to work, and it's really nice to get a win. I thought I felt it last week too, but kind of just the way the game was today, he made some big plays. Yep.
Last week, it's rough at a couple of times. It just depends on what I'm doing. You may not be able to really tell too much, but there are a couple spots and times where it is a little rough to move. But it did feel better this week. I don't know if it was maybe not as many situations that it was last week, but no, I mean it's definitely better this week. I know last week had a lot of press coverage, so you got to move a lot more laterally, which puts more stress, kind of on my ankle. But other than that, I mean, I feel pretty good. Yeah, it was. They went cover two. It was supposed to be like a kind of like an out route to Will Pauling, kind of like a short down and distance call, and actually our receivers coach was kind of behind me yelling, cover two, cover two. So, we kind of all seen it. And, so that means I got to be alert for kind of the whole shot between the corner and the safety. And that's kind of, how it worked out, caught it between the safeties and let him make a play. Yeah, I mean, it's huge because, you need to make plays like that. It's a short down and distance type of play, and, we're obviously trying to win the game. And so just making sure we're on the same page and in all situations of the game, so you can connect, because, there was one pass where we actually misconnected. It was like, I think we were going tempo, and they played cover two, and I ran like a dig route. And, he was expecting me to be in the first window, and I was actually in the second window, kind of expecting the ball. So plays like that, where it's like you got to be on the same page, and because every play, especially when you face Navy, every play drive is critical because you're going to have many possessions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt pretty good. Obviously it takes stuff pretty good, but it felt pretty good. The biggest thing there is, I'm not able to run as fast as I can. So I guess the biggest thing is really honing in on my technique, and specifically on that one, just really being able to use my body. Body language. I may not be running my fastest or sprinting, but you have to make everything look the same. And just really taking coaching, and make sure you're giving nods and six like that, and things at the top of the route, so you can create separation. No, it's good. It takes a lot of pressure off. Us. We've kind of been kind of the two, horses, out there receiver, and it's just good to see other guys make plays. They work hard, and just seeing them be able to just kind of just play. Not have to worry about too much. Finally, get a ball in their hands, make a move. Chris Scott, he's a guy that he does a lot of the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Just getting the ball in their hands and be able to just feel it, catch and run. You just. Me personally, I feel good for those guys, because you just know how hard they work, and obviously people didn't come here just to block and things of that nature. But everybody's got selfish ambitions, but it's just good to see that. No, I was in there on quite a few run plays. Actually, the play that I got hurt on, I was in there. Yeah, I was. No, it's none of that here. You got to do your job. But no, yeah, I was in there. I was. We were joking all week. Like, man, gonna give me PTSD going in here. Going in here trying to do the same play from the same. So I made sure I didn't stop in the hole. Made sure that if I missed going 100%. But I actually had a pretty good block on that on the actual play. Did pretty good. I think Chuck had a pretty good game, so that was good to see. They actually did it again. Yeah, Coach Fickell just said, everything that we want is still in front of us. We want an opportunity to play for championships, as we said at the beginning of the year, and that's still our goal, and that's where our sights are headed on. Yeah, I've been at my share of nipping nights since I've been here, and it gets pretty electric. And the biggest thing is, kind of when you get in situations like that, you kind of have like, kind of aha moments where you just kind of sit back and you're like, wow, like I'm really doing this. Like you grow up, seeing, crowds and your vision playing in front of crowds and stuff like that, and that type of energy, and you get in front of those crowds and things of that nature, and you have those opportunities. You're just grateful, to see those things and be able to be a part of them. No, yeah, it's kind of just within the game plan. They kind of came out and they played, pretty much what we thought. And so just really, we're really stressing quick game all week. Just really getting the ball out and letting us make plays and run. We're able to do that, and then try to set them up. With post routes and things. I need to run a lot of outs. And hopefully going to catch them deep, and we did. But yeah, just making sure that And as receivers, just got to be a reliable target. You know, just making sure that when opportunities do come our way, especially underneath, that we make them. You know, get the guys coming up, and you know, we're able to make them. Appreciate it.